In the last video, we learned how to write the equation of a circle in standard form when its center was at the origin and when its center was at a point other than the origin. So let's learn how to graph a circle using the equation. So if we look at the equation, h plus 5 squared equals y minus 2 squared equals 16, the first thing we need to do is write the center. So the center is always the numbers in the parentheses, but with the opposite sign. So since we have x plus 5, the x-coordinate of the center is minus 5. And since we have y minus 2, the center is at plus 2 for the y-coordinate. So the coordinates of our center is negative 5, 2. Our radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. Let me write the square root of 16 there, sorry. Square root of 16, which is 4, because remember that number is the radius squared. So here's how we graph this. First, we graph the center. So plot the center. So we have negative 5, positive 2. And we know the radius is 4. So to make a cross shape by counting up, down, left, and right from the center, and we count the amount of the radius. So our radius is 4. So from the center, I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go back to the center, and then I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to go right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my cross shape I was talking about, right? Because if we connected like this, we have our cross shape. And to make our circle, we just have to connect the dots as a circle. That's the hard part. So this is not going to look like a very good circle, but just pretend with me. Whoops. See, can't hit the points. Try again. I mean, that's close enough. So there's our circle. So let's try one last problem. So we've talked about the equation of a circle in standard form. But the circle can also be in general form, and that equation looks like this. X squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equals 0. And we would get this by multiplying out standard form. So this equation comes from doing that. So if they give us an equation in general form, in order to graph it, we have to put it in standard form. And to do that, we have to complete the square twice. Once with the x variable and once with the y variable. So how do we do that? Here's how we do it. First, we rewrite the equation. And we rewrite it like this. X squared plus 2x. So we're going to do it with this circle that they've given us here. So we have x squared plus 2x plus a blank that we've got to figure out what we're going to put in there. And that's one quantity. Then plus, we're going to have y squared minus 8y plus another blank that we have to figure out. And that's going to equal -8 because I took this 8 right here and moved it over to the other side of the equation by subtracting it. Now we have to complete the square in two variables. So first we have to complete the square in x. So to complete the square, we take the b term, which is 2. I'm just going to do this over here. So for the x, we do b over 2 squared, which is 2 over 2 squared, which is 1. So we're adding a 1 right there. Now I forgot a very important part here. I need to put plus 2 blanks on the right-hand side. Why? Well, I just added 1 to the left-hand side, so I better add 1 to the right-hand side also. Otherwise, I've messed up. Now let's complete the square in y. Well, it's still b over 2 squared, but this time looking at our y's, our b is -8 over 2 squared. So -8 divided by 2 is -4, and -4 squared is +16. So we are going to add 16 on the left and add 16 on the right. Now we just have to clean this up. So we have to factor each of the two parentheses. That gives us x plus 1 times x plus 1 plus, for our y parentheses, it's y minus 4 times y minus 4. And that equals whatever we get when we do the math on the left-hand side. So -8 plus 1 plus 16, I think we will find is 9. So finishing cleaning that up so that it's perfectly in standard form, we have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared, and that equals 9. So our center is -1, 4, based on x plus 1 and y minus 4. And the radius is the square root of 9, which is 3. And then to graph that, we do just like we did before. Plot the center, so -1, 4 is right there. And our radius is 3. So we go up 3 from the center, down 3 from the center, right 3 from the center, left 3 from the center, and then you just have to try and make a circle out of those points. And that's all there is to it. Now, just briefly, I want to show you how to graph circles in my labs. So we'll do that and then we'll move on. Okay, so I've pulled up a problem that wants us to graph a circle, and they gave us the radius and the center, and they said write the standard form, so I've already done that. And then they said write the general form, so I multiplied everything out and came up with that. Now I'm ready to graph. So I'm going to click to enlarge the graph, and I'm going to pick the circle tool. The first thing I want to do is plot the center of the circle. So that is at negative 8, 6. So I'm going to go to negative 8, 6, which is right here. And I'm going to click the mouse button. Then it says click to the graph to plot a point on the circle. So I'm going to use the radius and count over 10. Now the scale on this goes by 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I click again. Now I have my circle. I can save. I hit check answer, and I'm done. So that's how you use the circle graphing tool in MyLabs. So that concludes circles. We will come back and do problems about ellipses next. Nope. Sorry, I'm wrong. Parabolas. Parabolas are next. And I know we've talked about parabolas before, but do not skip this because this is a completely different way of looking at parabolas. I will see you in the next video.